in the seat earlier. Okay, we kind of conspired a little bit before we came in. We said, I think the audience has been much too quiet, so let's kind of provoke them and let's see what questions they have. And I think me and Adis has been on record plenty of times. What he just said is something we believe in as a credo, as something that's really straight from our hearts. We think the only way Ethiopia is going to be a country, a dignified country, is if we can develop a private sector that employs people. It's as simple as that to us. So, the next question that becomes that we get is, how do I invest? What do I invest in? All topics we've spoken so much about, to be honest. I don't even know where to start. In fact, I'm on the radio every week on Thursdays. In fact, on our website, you can get the recordings of the video, the radio show that I do on our website, ethiopianinvestor.com. So for me, it's like I don't know where to start or where to end. So both of us felt like maybe we should just leave it to them to ask. So I'll zip through a couple of things that we're doing right now that might be of interest to you. At Precise Consult, we do quite a lot of private sector development work with international agencies like USAID, the World Bank, the African Development Bank, and all the other development partners. But also, we have recently been doing a lot more on investment advisory and finance advisory. So I'm going to zip through very quickly on two projects we're promoting right now on really investment banking that we're doing on the ground right now. And then what I would like to do is, since we don't have a lot of time, just let you guys ask anything you want to ask. Myself and Addis have been back in Addis Ababa, for a while now, and I think we'd be happy to share. First company I want to tell you about is the first olive oil farm and production facility in Ethiopia. It's in the process. We have been engaged with them for the past few months, and we're raising capital for them. It's a $20 million project, both debt and equity, and we're very close to securing the debt from the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia. And on the equity side, we've gone a long way. In fact, we were almost closed, and then New York started getting gyrating. So our American investors got nervous. So they pulled off. Otherwise, I wouldn't be presenting this to you right now if it wasn't for one or two of the Americans that pulled out. So before the stock market stabilizes and they come back, maybe it's an opportunity for you guys. But before I do that, it's good to have a brother who's a lawyer. So he told me something. He just gave me something to read, so I'm going to read it. This presentation does not constitute an invitation or a solicitation to any member of the public to invest, buy shares, or take any investment decision where such person is situated in or subject to laws or a jurisdiction which would make such an invitation or solicitation illegal. Investing in equities is risky, and the value of your investment can go down as well as up. So, we got the lawyer stuff out. I'm the business economist, so let's talk business. This is the full presentation. Obviously, I'm not going to go through all of that. But so, Wera Oil PLC is actually situated in Tigray, in an area that is traditionally have Ethiopian olive tree varieties, which might actually be the indigenous type of Wera species in the African continent. And it's a joint venture between a Dutch company and an Ethiopian company. The Ethiopian company does most of the business development, and the Dutch company does most of the day-to-day runnings of the farm as well as the production facility. And the general manager is a former Unilever employee who knows this industry very well. So all of you know in investment, the first thing you want to look at is who's going to manage that business. And the management seems to be very well intact. There's been lots of questions on whether or not olives actually grow and be productive in Ethiopia. So this is a company that has done enough research but also proved it. They had brought the right variety of European trees from Italy and tried them, about 4-year-old trees, and they flowered in about 6 months. And in fact, they like the area so well. So the interesting thing here is not only does that European variety grow, but what they're doing is they're experimenting with about 5,000 outgrowers. Most of them are actually priests from the nearby churches. As you all know, olive trees are grown in Ethiopia in the churches for the most part, and for hundreds of years that has been the tradition. So this area is about 5,000 outgrowers. So the development point of this project is very strong as well. So they're planting this rainy season. They've just planted 7,200 trees. They need to import another 14,000 trees to go to full scale. Skip through this. So it's a three-phase operation which starts out right now. They're importing European olive oil and mixing it with indigenous olive oil. Unfortunately, the indigenous olive oil has not been worked on for centuries like the European one has been. So it tends to be a little bit more acidic and harder to eat. So what they're experimenting with is mixing them with the European variety and selling them in the local market. They're actually selling now in small retail packs. In phase two, the import will be reduced, and then the production locally will grow. And then by phase three, the idea is actually to start regenerating all kinds of olive trees and planting them in the rest of the country as well. I think that map just shows it. But basically what I want to say is the imports of olive oil into Ethiopia have been growing very fast in the last decade or so, and I think it's going to go even through the roof these days. There's some laws and regulations that have been taking place in Ethiopia that make it a bit difficult to operate in the oil business, particularly. So what's happening now is the quality of the oil is going down, so the people who can afford it are looking for more expensive, better quality oil. And almost, well, actually, no, definitely all of it is being imported right now, and this would be the only one that will be producing in Ethiopia. So as you can imagine, olive oil being brought in from Europe or anywhere else in glass containers is going to be heavy for the value. So we have just about a very well protected industry here in the sense of competition from anywhere else. So again, I'll just say that there is a very big gap in terms of what the demand is on the ground and what the supply is, and I won't get into any of these. I'd rather speak to you on a one-on-one basis on what all of this means when it is done. In here, what I want to highlight is what we're looking for actually is a 20 million per, almost 20 million per investment plan. About only 6 billion of it is what we're trying to raise in equity. The rest is going to come in debt from the commercial bank of Ethiopia. And this is the important thing, the last thing I want to tell you about before I go to the next project, is on your return on investment. So a very, very conservative estimate is close to 25%. That's if you exit that investment in 5 years. Basically, we did this with foreign investors in mind, and some of those foreign investors, when they invest in the company, make their profits and run, basically. For those, we did a calculation. But if you stay up to 8 years, the return actually goes almost close to 60%. And I don't think you're going to find a lot of projects that are close to this in terms of return. On the ground in Ethiopia, this is basically the picture. Look at the way the return on banks and government bonds or savings accounts, and then look at the returns on where nothing really to compare. Okay, I think it's a lot of numbers here, which I will be happy to disclose. The second one, I also just not get into the details, but this is an eco-lodge project in the Bale Mountains, which is being promoted by a tourism development project of USAID. The idea is to invest in 3 lodges in the Bale Mountains, which a road, a paved asphalt road is in fact almost finished now, reaching right into the mountains themselves in the park, is to invest in the cross-section there between cultural and social preservation, environmental protection, and economic development for the area and for the country as well. So, quickly going through this. Basically, what I want to say is that this is a USAID promoted program, and what USAID is offering is a complete study of the business plan and project. There is a management company already on the line about to sign a management contract. So this project will also come with strong management from a company called GeoLodges that has a great track record of managing eco lodges in Uganda and I think Tanzania. And there is a strong backing of the Wildlife Conservation Agency of the Ethiopian government as well. So this will be one of the few projects allowed in the park, if any more at all. 2,200 square kilometers of national park, and it is really one of the last untouched areas. It's really unparalleled in terms of beauty. Really, the only thing I could think of is the Semien Mountains, but this might be, in terms of plant species, this might even outdo the Semien Mountains. So this one is, quickly, there's a social and economic benefit to this investment as well, because it's going to create all kinds of employment. It's going to generate its own energy supply, so it's not going to be polluting the environment as well. And it would also have a small business incubator for farmers who would be supplying the lodges of all kinds of products, because it will be in the middle of kind of nowhere, really. And that is the whole idea, you know. So this is, we were just getting started with this, and it's a bigger project. It's about $3 million. And the IRR, the internal rate of return, they projected for the first 10 years is 25%. So this one, the rate of return is a little bit lower than the Waira one, but there's also a very heavy emphasis on local development on this one, more so than on the profit only. So this is a more balanced one. So if you're looking to invest not just in your pocket, but also in your spiritual comfort, then this is the one. So I'll leave it here. So if anyone is interested to find out any more about these two projects or anything else, because we're also promoting other projects that are coming up, I would suggest then we can have a chat outside, and you could also visit our website, ethiopianinvestor.com. Other than that, I think it's better to let you guys talk and we just respond from here on. Thank you.